Hey guys, welcome to another exciting episode of Footy Banter and Insights. We are here today at the onset of another Premier League season. So, obviously, we have a lot to talk about. So, today, Varun, Manan, and I are going to deep dive into the EPL. We are going to discuss our predictions for the top six, and then we are going to go through each squad and we are going to highlight what more the squads can be added to and the basic rumors around each of the big teams. So, Varun, let me start with you. What's your thought on the Big Six this season?
I think all of them have done a pretty good job and good job of strengthening themselves. Yeah, like I think the transfer window has been really, really productive for all of them. I feel like you look at City, you look at Arsenal. They have added a bunch of good players. Liverpool have done that. United have actually kind of revamped their front three as well. Um, Chelsea have signed some nice key players. I think I think it'll be like a very interesting competitive season. And for me, if I have to predict, I would say Liverpool for me look very very strong. Uh, uh, I I don't know whether they will be able to complete the Isaac deal before the window closes. But irrespective, I think they look really strong. Man City with Rodrigo, if and when Rodrigo deal is done, which is supposed to be the current rumor, they will become extremely strong as well. I mean, imagine Haaland and Rodrigo, and then Foden on the other side. That is going to be like a killer top three. Um, Arsenal have done well with Gyökeres as well, and I think their defense is pretty decent as well. Saliba and all of those players haven't left, so uh, I would go with like I would if you would have asked me yesterday, I would have said Liverpool and then followed by Man City. But now with Rodrigo coming in at Man City, I don't know, probably like uh, Liverpool, Man City one on two, Arsenal third, Chelsea fourth, uh,
Okay.
United fifth, and I mean rest is not relevant. Newcastle sixth.
Okay, fair enough. Not bad. Manan, what's your view?
Yeah, I feel that Liverpool outperformed their team last season, and I think there's going to be a bit of a regression. Also, because they have right now like three senior forwards only. They have like uh, Ekitike, Salah, and Gakpo. They also have Words and Sobozlai who can fill in a couple of positions, but they have like three senior attacking players, like attacking forwards, let's say. So there's a lack of depth there. I feel there's a definite lack of depth in the central defense. Beyond Van Dijk and Konate, there's no other senior central defender. So I actually feel that they'll finish third. With the
Oh,
revamp,
wow.
I feel City will be number one and Arsenal will be number two. Um, four, five, six, probably Chelsea, Newcastle United. Yeah. In fact, I will not be surprised if Chelsea finishes above Liverpool either. Like,
Wow.
I think it's going to be a closer league than last year. So you will probably need lesser points to win than relative to last year. That is what my feeling is. But it's going to be closer than last year. Like no one's going to be winning the league with 5 or 6 games in hand. Uh, but yeah, I genuinely think that because of the lack of depth in Liverpool squad, unless of course they get an Isaac and a Gehi, and then a lot of these things change, right? But at present, I feel that they are one or two injuries away to being totally devastated in their lineup.
Interesting take. Varun, you're on mute.
Whom are you picking as second? Arsenal.
Hmm.
Yeah, Arsenal second.
For
Because
Man City,
they have the
Arsenal.
most stable team. Arsenal have the most stable team in a way, if you see. Like, least number of changes in the first 11. The
And
spine
then
is the same.
United comes fourth or Chelsea?
No, I'll say United is either fifth or sixth. The jump from 15th to fourth is a huge one. Again, United are a team in transition, and despite the fact that we'll have, let's say, one game per week, uh, it will still take time for everything to change. There, like I mean, I will not say it's beyond them to come fourth, but if you ask me right now, I would say either fifth or sixth.
I think it is reasonable given that they have one game a week. Given that Chelsea, Arsenal, all of these other teams have like Champions League and like other commitments, I think it'll be a little difficult. I think United, from that point of view, are like well positioned.
So I agree. Like there is a chance, and that's why I said I will not them to
Yeah,
finish
but I feel
fourth.
Chelsea's squad overall is a little better than United's. So
Sorry.
I feel Chelsea's squad is a little better than United's.
Yeah,
So
yeah. But they
I
also
think,
have more games, right? So it's
yeah,
like it's a give and take. And
yeah.
United squad is still learning how to play in the new system. Like we had the first games were good, then the other two were not so good. So it's consistency is an issue. And to finish fourth, you still need to be consistent. You know.
Yuvi, what do you think?
I think for me, it's going to be the return of the big six this season. I think last year we saw a big aberration with both United and Spurs finishing 15th, 16th. I don't see that happening anymore. Uh, Number one for me, I'll go against the popular opinion, and I'm gonna say Arsenal are gonna finally break the duck and finish as, let's say, Premier League champions. And the only reason for that I'll say is, like, I would say there are three reasons for that. Number one, if Arsenal don't do anything significant this year, I feel Arteta will be out of the project. So I think Arteta has given himself the best chance of making an impact this season by actually signing ready players. So Zubimendi is a ready player. Gyökeres, of course, is a ready player. Then you've got Madueke, who's a great backup to Osaka. And if Martinelli can perform well, or if you guys can sign Eze, I think that will really, really help the odds of closing out big games and getting that 1-0 victory. And with Arsenal's defense, which I think is the best across, and the point which Manan mentioned, right? Ki it's the most stable squad over the last 2, 3 years. So I think that plays a big role as well. Another thing, Arsenal had zero influence of the summer Club World Cup, and they did not have an early start as well. So I think they have prepared well during the break, and I think the entire team will go out there wanting to prove themselves. So I think Arsenal for me has the best chance of finishing top. Second, I would have definitely said Liverpool, and I still feel that Liverpool will somehow manage to sign a couple of players. Good chance Isaac goes there. Good chance Gehi goes there. Maybe they can sign another backup in a in a maybe defensive third just to get more secure. City again would say City are gonna suffer a little bit again because Rodri is again injured. Coming back from an ACL is never easy, and I think injuries keep on recurring after that. So I think the fact that he's out till September, no matter how good Reinders will be, I think it'll take them time to kind of settle in again. So I think City will be there and thereabouts, but I think maybe second or third. I don't see them top again this season. But again, that's a very big bet against Guardiola because whenever Guardiola has not won the league, he has gone out to win that league in the next season. And City has given him the best possible chance. But again, if you look at the entire structure, right, I think the way the other teams have improved this season, and everyone has a point to prove. So I think that'll prove a little bit too difficult.
Yeah, for
Fourth
me,
for
like,
me is, yeah, please go on.
so just a quick point on City, right? As you said, like it's very difficult to kind of imagine Guardiola not winning for 2 years. Like
Yeah,
it has never happened. I
it
don't
has
know
never
whether,
happened.
yeah. So it's like that, and the kind of signings that they have done, it's crazy, yeah. Like it's kind of they have literally gone all out to kind of make sure it doesn't happen again. So
So
especially
I
Rodrigo is a
actually,
crazy signing, yeah.
so I think again, so till today morning, it was a very different picture. And just imagine in the
Yes,
last 12 hours. So
yeah.
Everton are taking Grealish on loan with covering the entire 300K salary, giving an option of a 50 million pound buyout, which is crazy. I don't see it happening for sure, but just the option means that they are serious about maybe taking him on. Then you have Savinho, who actually is not a bad player at all. I think he's a very good player. And I'm surprised that City are selling Savinho to Tottenham. I think it can actually come back to bite them again, like with Palmer. Maybe
I would
not in
have
the same
loved it.
extent.
I would have loved it if instead of Maduake spending 50 million on him,
Yeah, I
he
agree.
would
I
have
agree.
signed Savinho for 50 million. Yeah, that would have been crazy.
I think Savinho का ना 70 million तक जा रहा है in terms of the
Acha, okay.
prices which are quoted. 70 million
But still,
euros.
I wouldn't mind paying 70
I agree.
compared
I
to
agree.
50 million for Maduake. I would
Correct.
40% premium is justified for.
100%. So similar. So if let's say I Chelsea don't need a right winger for sure. But if let's say there's a team which needs a proper right winger, I think Savinho is the best Premier League option out there right now. So well done to Spurs to kind of get this deal over the line. And we're actually not talking about Spurs right now, but very quietly they have signed Palinia on loan, who when he was playing in the Premier League had more interceptions and tackles than Caicedo and Rice. They have gotten in Matthias Tell completely this season as a transfer. They have got Kudus, who is electric on the break. And if Savinho signs on, they've got another player who can be really, really useful in terms of attacking input. So I think, like with Thomas Frank, I'm not saying they'll compete for the title, of course, but they're definitely going to be there and thereabouts for the top four. And possibly, I think they'll finish top six
They can cause an upset on their day for sure.
for sure. See,
Yeah.
Thomas Frank with
So,
Brentford used to do that so often. So when
yeah,
you
yeah,
give him a better squad of players, I think it's only going to add to that.
yeah. So,
Manan,
We
you're on
can't
mute.
a lot
Manan,
over.
your voice is not audible. Sorry.
You hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes. So I was saying that we can't really extrapolate anything from Brentford for Spurs just based on Thomas Frank's appointment because a lot of managers who are very good at the mid-table, lower mid-table level are not able to make the jump up to the top of the like is one big example. Graham couldn't manage.
Manan, your voice is going in and out.
Can you guys hear me now?
It's going in and out, buddy. I think headphones nikal de. It may be better.
okay. Um, so, UV, do you want to just quickly lead with what all transfers at City have kind of
Yeah, so today like, all of a sudden, I'll just mention it, right? So I saw a report which was linking Grealish to Everton for a while. And today we got a lot of clarity on that Everton have decided to pay the complete salary of Jack Grealish, which is around 300K. Plus, they have a buy option, which is for 50 million pounds. Other than that, Savinho is very heavily linked to Spurs. The first report which came out was around 50 million pounds. The second report which came out was around 70 million euros, inclusive of add-ons, which still I feel is a great deal for
Yeah,
everyone involved, honestly, because Savinho moved to City from Troyes. They pay 20 million euros for him. And if they are
yeah,
able to get 70 million euros after the season, it's going to be an insane FFP working done by them. And
correct.
then you have another very good youngster by the name of James McAtee moving to Nottingham Forest for around 25 million pounds. Uh, he is actually as well regarded in the City youth team as a Cole Palmer was back in the day. So again, will be very interesting to see how Morgan Rogers developed at Aston Villa and how Chelsea have helped develop Palmer. Can McAtee also go to Forest and develop in the same manner? I would hope that's the case because I think these kind of players from the City Academy definitely deserve the limelight at a relatively smaller team. So I think that can be very significant. And the biggest move, considering the outs, has been like you mentioned, City going for Rodrigo. Now, if that happens, it's like a crazy move, right? Like you mentioned, you've got Haaland, Mamouche, you've got Foden, and then you've got Rodrigo.
Totally.
And that's like a crazy front four. And if you have a fully fit Rodri, then you find it difficult to kind of maneuver anywhere in
Yeah,
that midfield as well because Inders will keep on going up and down. So yeah, it's
yeah, yeah.
if they I see as a football fan, I would love for this to happen. As a specific Chelsea fan, it would be not the best option, but as purely a football fan, I would love to see this combination take place. I think it'll be really good to see.
But as a football fan, if this happens, then City is again going to dominate the league for like I don't know 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. Like
You
it's
never know, yeah, you never know. See, Aj, every team will try and be better. And like for instance, for example, I think I'm very impressed, like you mentioned in your earlier comment as well. Every team has done exceptionally well for themselves. So, for instance, a Liverpool has gone to the market, identified clear targets. They have signed two people for about 200 million, which they are not very comfortable doing on a regular basis, but they have clearly identified the profiles. Here we want Florian Wirtz. Even City wanted Florian Wirtz, and if you see the preseason games, Wirtz actually looks like a mini KDB in terms of his gameplay. Then they have identified that Isak and Ekitike are our two key forwards. They've already signed Ekitike, and there's a good chance that they sign Isak as well. So they've signed Kirkes from Bournemouth, they've signed Wirtz, they've signed Flimprong from Leverkusen. So it's been done very methodically. Similarly, if you see United's business, I think all said and done, spending 200 million on either Premier League proven goal scorers at the prime of their careers, which is 25, 26, or getting in someone with extreme potential is like a great move by United. Like I think Sesko's gameplay has been so good, and I'm actually very surprised because the money which Sesko has gone to United for, and the money which Arsenal paid for Gyökeres, I would have thought it would be the reverse. Because for the longest time, Arteta seemed keen on Sesko and Amorim seemed keen on Gyökeres. So it'll be a very fun combination to see Arsenal versus Liverpool, Arsenal versus Man United on the first week. And I would love for
yeah,
both of them to start.
it'll be very interesting to see actually which team has actually ended up with a
Better
better deal.
deal.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's and so Manan, what are your thoughts on Sesko?
Yeah, I think from a pure player profile, as I mentioned in our last podcast, I was preferring someone who's more experienced rather than spending this kind of a money on another young talent who has to shoulder a huge responsibility of being the number 9 at United. the pressure of being a number 9 at United is probably higher than being a number 9 at any other club in England. Uh, it's not easy. I was reading an article on ESPN this week stating that players from Germany, uh, drop their level when they come to United, the highest amongst any other league in Europe. Like for example, players from the La Liga dropped their level by 8% on average, whereas players from Germany was like 15% or slightly above that. So
But is it
that
because
is
you've
one.
signed older players?
No, it's not to United. It's just to the
Okay,
whole
okay.
league. Yeah,
Ah,
it's
okay,
like
fine.
all transfers coming into the league. For United, it's the worst because we've been burned by players from Bundesliga a lot. Sancho, Kagawa, Schweinsteiger, Sabitzer, Weghorst. So, like, of course, a lot of them were past their sell-by dates when they came to
Yeah,
United
I think
also.
that's the.
But but again, this statistic wasn't just for United; it was for the whole league. So I don't know. I'm a bit skeptical uh, of spending this much money on another young forward. Of course, I'm going to hope for the best, but right now, whether I am very certain or whether I'm very optimistic about it, I will say I'm not.
So let's start off with going through individual squads. So I will just, Manan, can you share your screen and I'll send a link to you. So this is the Man City 25-26 squad as on date.
One second.
Yeah.
I think you'll have to allow me to share the screen now. Varun.
I
Varun
think
has special privileges.
you're allowed, buddy.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Manan, if you can just expand it a little bit.
Yeah.
So, City already had Edison and they have Ortega. They got in Bettinelli as their third choice keeper, which is a good move because he has been Chelsea's third choice keeper for a while and he is English and he's homegrown. So it was like a nominal transfer fee, I think maybe less than 1 million, just to get
It's a
him
free
secured
transfer.
and practically a free transfer. Essentially, it's more like you are saving a spot for an international player by doing this. And they have gone on and re-signed James Trafford, and James Trafford is extremely highly rated. Last year, Burnley, he was playing at Burnley in the championship, and Burnley had the maximum clean sheets, and they set a new record. And originally, City had sold Trafford to Burnley for around 13 million, and they re-signed him for 27 million, wherein the minimum which Newcastle had offered was around 40 million. So we can understand how well, let's say, they have done to get him back to the club. So I think keeper wise they are sorted, and there's a good chance that Ortega may actually leave. Then if we go to the
Ah,
defense, in defense we've got Ruben Diaz who is at his prime right now. We've got John Stones who is, I think, waning a little bit, but on his day he can be really good. You've got Nathan Ake, you've got Alt Nouri, which is a great signing from Wolves. Guardiol, who has fit in very well. You've got Akanji again, who's now at his peak, you can say, in terms of his defense. And you've got Nunez, who's primarily a right back. Nico O'Reilly, a very, very good left back come defensive options. I have a good feeling that Kusanov will either not get much playing time or he may actually leave for or a loan or something. And you've got Rico Lewis again, who's very good. So I don't see I don't feel there are too many gaps in the City defense, right? Like if you look at the keeper or if you look at the second choice defense as well. Like, do you guys see any big gaps here
I think this is their weakness.
Yeah,
In
in the
absence of
defense?
Rodrigo, in absence of Rodrigo, I think this is the weakness that they have, and that is the weakness that was there for them last year as well. They were leaking just too many goals. Uh,
Okay.
Without that, like an amazing world class player like Rodri to shield them, I think they might struggle a little bit.
yeah. I don't see a proper right back in this squad. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, left back, the issue should be sort of partially solved with Etnuri coming in, so Guardiola can move in the center with Ruben Diaz. So those three are a lock, but I don't see a good right back in the squad.
Yeah. I actually rate Rico Lewis quite highly, yeah. I think he has everything to do a Guardiola kind of inverted fullback role.
But he hasn't progressed since his first season.
Yeah, he didn't live
Okay.
up to it last season. He was very,
Yeah,
very. He got a lot of opportunities, but he was consistently making a lot of errors.
Okay. So let's look at it this way. I'll ask a different question. I'm pretty sure Varun won't take any players from this defense in Arsenal.
Yeah, I won't.
Manan, what's your view?
I would take Ruben Diaz. I would take Guardiola also. To be honest, I was hoping United would have signed Etnuri over Dorgu.
United,
So
United would take all of them.
no, that's not true. That's not true. Our defense is pretty good. So I would take Diaz for sure. I would take Guardiola for sure. Perhaps Etnuri as well. But that's it.
Nathan Ake,
No,
Nathan
no.
Ake is good, dude.
Yeah, but we have good defenders. We have like Euro. We have Heaven, who's progressed really well. For the central centre back position, Maguire and Dilik are both decent. We have Licha Martinez once he's fit again. So we are pretty okay in the centre back position. But of course, these three players are definite upgrades for sure.
Okay.
Right.
So let's say City have the weakness in terms of defense. Let's move further to the midfield.
My only point is that I feel both Liverpool and Arsenal have better defense than City.
I don't think Liverpool have a better defense than City. Yeah.
I think
Liverpool
they
have a
have.
better first four, not in terms
Yes,
of depth.
yes, yes. That's true.
Yeah, but like their first four are so way above the this thing. It's like I would take Liverpool's defense over City's defense. Is what I'm trying to say. Let's have a look at their midfielders. Um, Kovacic and Rodri kind of are the holding players over there. Grealish, as Yuvi mentioned, is going to leave on loan. Then you have um, Doku and Bernardo no longer plays on the wing, I guess. So you have Doku, you have Phil Foden, you have Savinho again is going out on loan. But Yuvi, can you just go down a little bit?
So इसमें ना we can divide it into two parts. One is the midfield part and the second is the wing
The
part.
wingers, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So in the midfield, so Reinders is the big signing. And I think Reinders is someone who will help give more balance to Guardiola, which he was lacking last season. Rodri, as we all know, is possibly the best midfielder when he is fit. But unfortunately, from the reports which have surfaced, he will be out till September mid minimum, maybe till September end. And I think
yeah,
after an ACL injury, it becomes more and more difficult to kind of capture your peak form. So I think that
correct.
is a very, very significant blow to City. And Knowing City, I'm surprised that they have not invested further in the
In
midfield
the midfield. Yeah,
But they did
because
buy Nico
Baleba.
Gonzalez.
Yeah, so
So
I think that is the do you, so honestly, if you ask me, Nico Gonzalez was like a short-term buy, a stopgap, but I don't see him as a very, very potent player for City. I would rather sell him for about 30, 40 million. I think they signed him for 50 million. If you can sell
yeah.
him for 30, 40 million and sign a Baleba, then it completely changes the game for City.
yeah.
So I think Baleba is also not a very similar profile to Rodri.
No,
Baleba
no, no.
prefers
He's
to,
a box to
yeah,
box complete.
yeah,
He's a machine. He's a
yes, yes.
crazy machine.
So like to have another backup to Rodri, Baleba is not the right player for them. Like Reinders is like a Gundogan profile player who's gonna be as a part of the midfield three and make runs and score goals and while also providing solidity in the midfield. Uh, the only replacement they have in this particular squad on our screen right now is Nico Gonzalez for Rodri. I feel he's going to improve relative to what he did in the second half of last season at City, because that's just the trend of like you would normally expect players improving under Pep Guardiola, but that is still a big hole. And then they have so many other forwards like attacking midfielders. There, Kovacic is not a good enough replacement or a substitute for
Who do you think are the
Rodri.
three starters in this?
I'll say if
Reinders,
Rodri is fit, Rodri, Reinders, and Bernardo Silva.
yeah.
No, but Foden is one of the three, right?
No,
Foden can play on the wing as well. Either
Foden
it's
will
Silva
not
or
play on the
Foden.
wing.
Maybe on the
Foden
right
is the
wing.
successor to KDB.
Ideally, yes, but because they're selling Savinho,
They will
they
figure
can
out something
actually
on the wing.
use. So I think what can happen is they may look at a 4-2-3-1 kind of a formation, like Haaland and Mamouche behind them, with Rodrigo on the left and Foden on the right, possibly.
I feel Foden will be in that inside left
Right.
position, which was inside right position, which was taken up by KDB. I think that's the position Foden will come in. There'll be, of course, Rodri that will be there, and then the third player will be like a switch between Kovacic or Gundogan or I don't know, like one
no.
of
I
the
think Reinders is a sure shot starter in this
yeah.
Hmm.
team. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He-
Even in the
So
preseason, he's done well.
yeah.
Okay, so
So
then
I
third
feel
players is Reinders then.
yeah. So I mean, it's either Silva or Foden for sure between them. Let's say, and then you have Marmoush and Haaland and Ryan Cherky. I feel maybe the one playing from the right wing, cutting
Yeah, that is
inside.
possible. Fair
Yeah,
enough. That's a good possibility because he has that profile. He's done the same thing at Lyon as well.
yeah.
Yeah,
So that would be my 11, I guess.
yeah. So they over there they have Doku on the wing, they have Choki on the wing. I don't know if Mamouche can play on the wing or not,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like
Mamush plays left
He
wing, right wing,
yeah,
he
everything.
he
exactly.
can,
So
but he's
yeah,
preferred that he will play behind Haaland or in place of Haaland if he's
I mean
injured.
I'm sure he's not playing in place of Haaland, but I mean I
No,
think
like how Alvarez was, right? So many times Guardiola may not want, let's say Haaland is not fully fit. So then Mamouche plays the false nine kind of role.
fair enough. But yeah, not in the starting 11 if Haaland is not in that Haaland
He
position
act
if Haaland is fit.
yes. So in
I
that
mean,
case, he may play behind Haaland
yeah, I mean,
because
but
honestly,
that's what I think.
Mamouche
I
has
think
a
it's
great,
Foden who will
yeah.
take that role primarily rather than Mamouche. I feel that Mamouche
Okay.
will go on a wing or something like that. Basically, what he did with Jesus when he was there, I
Hmm.
think he might do with Mamouche. I don't know. It's and it's a little. It's very fluid right now. So
Yeah.
uh, they have a lot of options playing in the front three, basically.
But if you notice one thing in this squad. like in earlier City squads, we had very good confidence and say, ki, oh, this is the starting player and this is the bench player. Right
Yeah,
now, if we are going through it, there are many positions wherein we are not having that confidence that this is the starter and whether he will be able to get a, a consistent metric going. So I
yeah,
think that is
yeah,
where City squad is not as good as it was in recent years. Now, how Guardiola helps improve the team and get them on track, of course, that only Guardiola can do. But
yeah,
for me, City aren't title favorites at this point in time. Like for me, they would be third. They would not be even top two.
got it.
Cool. Sending the link for Arsenal next. Till then, I'm gonna just take a look and see if there have been any actual updates on the moves which were happening. So, Varun, why don't you discuss the Arsenal squad?
Sure. So, I mean, no questions over here. Raya will be the starter. Kepa, again, like a backup, plays in a few cup competitions. Carl Hein is a very highly rated academy prospect. So he's like a third option. With defenders, again, as you guys have mentioned, like clear cut, there are starters and then there are backups in this defending unit, where Saliba starts, Gabriel Magalhaes starts as the two center backs. Then I think on the right side you will have Ben White, and on the left side you will have the Arsenal academy player. Uh, if you roll down, it will
Skelly.
be the Skelly. Yeah, it will be Skelly who goes on the left side. So I think these four will be the starters with backup as Calafury and Timber. So the thing is, Timber is actually has done very well last year when Ben White was injured. So that's a little bit of a play where Arteta sticks with Timber on the right, or does he bring back Ben White to play on the right? I think he will go with Ben White, but again, Timber is a very good backup that you have as a right back or even left back. He plays both, right? So, Kivior, good backup for Gabriel, and if you go up, Mosquera that they have recently signed is a good backup for Saliba. So there
There
are.
is a chance that Kivior leaves, right? There's a lot of rumors linking
I
him away from
hope
the
he
club.
doesn't leave. I hope he doesn't leave. There are rumors about it, but because Calafury can also play left center back, and
Hmm.
that's where the rumors are, where they can kind of
Adjust.
monetize on Kivior. But see, again, he had a great ending to last year, right? When Gabriel was injured, and probably if you see, his valuation is the highest it has ever been in the history of his career. So probably it's a good time to kind of monetize him, but I would say this is a season where you don't want to go wrong if you really are there to win a title, and having a backup, it's okay. It's okay. Like you can sell him next year if you want to. So yeah,
So I
going
think
down.
one fact here is that in terms of the back five, like
Yeah,
if we look at the best players in the league, possibly an Allison may get over Raya. I don't see anyone getting over Saliba. I think he's the best defender in the league, pure play right now. Maybe
Van
a
Dijk.
Van Dijk gets over. Van Dijk
Saliba or
gets
Van
in
Dijk. Yeah.
for no, no. Van Dijk gets in over Gabriel. Like you have to choose two of
Okay.
the best. So Saliba and Van Dijk would be my two. And I think Lewis Kelly would be the best left back right now, even at his early stature. And right back, again, personally, if a fully fit James is there, I think he is best at ensuring that that right flank is covered. But other than that, because he's not consistently fit, I think a Timber is a better option. But again, he also has injury problems. So I think from a defensive point of view, with the backups, I don't see this Arsenal side conceding many goals.
So again, as you are right, on paper, this is one of the best defensive lineups that a team has in the Premier League right now. But as you saw last year as well, we were very leaky in important moments of the league and important moments of the game. So we had the most number of draws last year, right? And that was because we were conceding, like we could have won those games 1-0 or 2-0, but we were conceding goals at a very inappropriate time. Although we had one of the best defenses, but the defense was very, very leaky last year, is what I feel. Not in just the number terms of number of goals you have conceded, but the timing in which that you conceded the goal and the games in which you conceded the goal. So yeah, I mean, but they have to translate that strength on paper to on field, is what I would say. Um,
I think having Gyökeres will help in terms of a defensive uh, stability also, because then you have that long ball where you can just hoof the ball up to him and he can control the ball and use his strength to
but he's
hold
not
it
very
up.
good at it.
But he's good at hold up play. He's not good at like heading the ball in.
His holder play is also very questionable, yeah. Like, um, but let's see. I mean, yeah, holder play in Portuguese league is very different than holder play in English Premier League. So,
True, 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 true.
um, so yeah, let's move to the midfield, Manan. Um, Again, like clear cut starters and then backups very well defined. Odegaard starts inside right position. Zubamendi starts as a defensive mid. Uh, Norgard is a backup to Zubamendi. You have Ethan Waneri, who's a backup currently to Odegaard. That's a change in his position right now. Then you have Declan Rice as an inside left and Marino as a backup to him on the inside left. So yeah, very clear cut. You have like six players, three positions, one starter, one backup. Um, so yeah, clear defined roles for majority of those people. And then Fabio
Another
Vieira,
factor, if you notice here, is the age.
yeah,
So if you look at the other squads, they are still building their teams. Whereas if you look at the Arsenal squad, and if you just go a little bit higher as well, so Zubimendi is 26, or sorry, Martin Odegaard is 26, has been playing for 10 years almost, and he knows what he's doing. Norgard has played in Brentford, good Premier League experience, comes in knowing what to do. Nwaneri is a young kid off the block. Unless Odegaard gets injured for a very long time, you have, well, he will play in and out of games. He'll not play consistently. Merino last year was brilliant, even in a striker position, and he adds a lot of value in terms of that team, right? And again, 29. So I think the age profile is such that they are all waiting to win because another season without victory, I think this squad will no longer survive. This is my thought. Like
yeah.
there will be teams which will either come in and rip the team apart, or they themselves will feel कि यार, if we are not able to win here, then we'll have to go somewhere
We need to
else.
move on. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
true. Let's move down. Forwards again, like with Gyökeres coming in, he becomes the sure shot starter. Saka on the right and Martinelli on the left. Now you have Maduaki as a backup for Saka on the right. Um, we currently still don't have Trossard becomes a backup for Martinelli. But again, I think we are lacking that one body up front. Jesus is very injury prone. Harvard's again I don't know. You can't. I don't. I still feel you can't win a league with Havertz as a key player. So if Gyökeres again gets injured, you're back to square one. So from that point of view, it's a little. It's just fingers crossed that he doesn't get injured. And the second thing is how much time does he take to kind of get used to the whole Arteta system? That is the second point of view. Given that the run-in of games that we have in the beginning is a tough one, so that becomes a key point over here. Both Zubamendi, how he fits in Premier League right off the bat with the kind of fixtures which we have in the first 6 weeks, and Gyökeres. So two very very important positions and new players for both of them, and I think that's where Arsenal can actually lose an impetus in the beginning versus Liverpool and Man City. I feel if they
So
don't, they have a good shout. I feel.
I feel
just putting in
probably City
context.
will be a slow starter also because they have just
Hmm.
begun their preseason last week, right? Like the first preseason game was Friday. So it is likely they may be a slower starter as well. And all the other teams need to take advantage of this situation now and just try and create some room between City and themselves.
So if you look at Arsenal's fixtures, you've got United away, which is going to be a more difficult game than what you would normally think. Then you've got Leeds at home, which again should be a win. Liverpool away on the third game, which is crazy. Then you've got Forest at home after the international break. You've got City at home, and then you've got Newcastle away. Now,
That's what I'm saying. The first six fixtures are crazy, right?
yeah, yeah, and
So that's
Newcastle.
where,
So I'm just looking at the scenario as well. That City will be more or less up to speed by
yeah,
mid-September,
yeah,
and Newcastle hopefully they would have sorted out their attacking options by end of September.
yeah,
The only advantage I think which Arsenal will have is Leeds at home should be a must win. I think easy win ideally, considering that they are just coming back. And Forest, in fact, have actually not been able to, or maybe I don't know. It can actually be a tricky fixture, but Arsenal at home, you would expect them to win.
yeah. I
First
mean,
six fixtures with Varun, what would you expect? Like, how many points would be the minimum you would expect?
see, Leeds. The only good thing is that it's at home, right?
Yeah.
I would say Leeds away, and if that would have been their first home fixture, that would have been a very tricky thing.
Hmm.
Relegated team coming back, first home fixture, and that to like a crowd like Leeds, that would have been really, really like a tough kind of a situation, and the team would be really out there to win the first home game. But ठीक है,
Hmm.
ये Arsenal का home है, so we are kind of a little this thing. Now, if I look at United, right? Uh, I feel that if there was a time to play United, I think it's in the beginning of the season rather than middle of the season or at the end of the season, because I think the problem that Arsenal have, the same problem United have, where their front three are all new, right? So they are also not completely settled in the Amorim system, right? So uh, give them more time to work on the Amorim without midweek games, and they will become stronger at the as the season moves on. So best
Hmm.
time United I feel is at the beginning of the season.
Early.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Um, but again, United game कुछ भी हो सकता है. It's it's more about
And
it's more about who handles their head well, basically.
yeah, and traditionally, Amorim seems to do much better against the bigger teams. At
Yeah,
least in the last
yeah.
season, he was doing much, much
Yeah,
better.
but that was just because he just shuts shop and plays on the counter attack,
He'll do that again.
which he will probably not do that at the beginning of this season.
No, no, he will.
He
Yeah,
should,
he will.
right? If you have a
He should.
formula which
Yeah,
is working, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
but then players are different, right? Like players are different. He has more confidence in his team. They have been training more. They are more accustomed to how he wants them to
Like
play. So it
in
creates a
general,
lot of
if
difference.
if imagine you have two excellent transition players like Mbuemo and Cunha, and you
yeah,
just give them two chances against an Arsenal side, and they end up scoring one of them. It can be a good 1-1 or a 1-0 victory as well.
Yeah. I completely agree. Um, so yeah, I mean, United will be a tough fixture. Liverpool will be a very tough fixture. City, Newcastle is like a bogey team for the last couple of years, right? So
If
uh,
Arsenal get 15 points in the first six,
if Arsenal get 15 points in the first six, then they are well positioned to kind of do really well in the league this season. I mean, then I would say, yeah, probably their probability of winning the league is kind of high. But I don't see them getting 15 points. That's what I'm trying to say. Like in those first six fixtures. Uh, yeah.
okay. Moving to United, Manan, I've sent the link to you.
I'll just search it here. Yeah.
Okay. You'll have to go in statistics. Yeah.
Wait, there's some statistics. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not the same view. Go down, Manu, go
Yeah.
down.
Why is it not the same view?
UV link भेज दे.
No, no, it's the same. वो but only thing is, यहाँ पे लोगों ने मेहनत नहीं की है यूनाइटेड के लिए.
I think I think it's a different link.
No, no, the link is the same. It's just
Yeah.
I don't think people have worked hard on United team.
Let's see.
Yeah. Hey,
So ऊपर जा,
I
थोड़ा सा
can't
ऊपर
even
जा.
see Onana.
नहीं नहीं
Yeah.
नहीं, थोड़ा थोड़ा ऊपर जा. यहाँ पे पोजीशन पे जा. पोजीशन पे जस्ट क्लिक ऑन दैट पोजीशन लिंक.
This one. ना हाँ वो हो जाएगा.
हाँ हाँ.
पर
Now
वो
you can see it.
alphabetically होएगा.
नहीं नहीं,
Like it will
पोजीशन पे
not
जा.
be
हाँ
by.
बस. अगेन क्लिक.
See.
हाँ तो ठीक है. डिफेंडर्स मिल गया ना देखो.
हाँ. So there's no Andre Onana in this whole thing, which is very surprising.
No, like I said, people have removed him already.
But yeah, he's still the number one goalkeeper at United. Uh, we might get an upgrade with either Donnarumma or Emi Martinez or Samuel Lemons from Royal Antwerp. Depends on the money
So
that we have.
Sky Italia have just reported that Donnarumma is available for 20 million euros.
Wow.
Yeah. Sky Italia.
Yeah, but still, I mean, there's no smoke without fire, no? So
Hmm.
maybe like not 20, but 25, 26, something like that.
Yeah. Well, it'll be 20 million fixed and up to, I
Uh,
think, 10 million add-ons. But that's
hmm.
like, it's crazy
That's a
value,
steal
right?
for Donnarumma. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so maybe we get Donnarumma. Like I think that will upset our wage structure completely, but okay.
I really
In
hope you all do not.
Yeah. Any team which gets Donnarumma instantly goes up. I think even if Arsenal are looking at it rationally, it's not a bad option just to get in Donnarumma. Yeah. Go Champions League, mein, he will just be massive, this guy.
नहीं यार,
He can be the
Raya is very good
difference.
यार. It will just change the whole dynamic
No,
of
no,
the
it's
team.
that is different, but I'm just saying in terms of let's say how Saliba is there or how Van Dijk is there. If Donnarumma enters England, automatically he becomes one of the top three keepers in the league, irrespective
well,
of
we
which team
don't
he
know
goes.
how good he is at like long balls and crosses and stuff, right? Because that is the one key difference that happens in England with the physicality and long balls and everything.
He is
So
6'6". I'm assuming he is decent with long
I,
balls
it's
and
it's not just about height. It's about like having the courage to go in, knowing when to go in, when not to go in. So many other things are a factor. Yeah. So I haven't seen him as much to make a judgment on that, but that is to be seen in my book.
I mean, PSG won against Arsenal in the semis last year because of him, yaar. literally
And
like.
even the Liverpool penalty
Huh.
shootout.
But again, as I said, it's about a different kind of gameplay in the league, right? It's not just about like some matches against some teams. Like United did so well in Europe, Spurs won in Europe, and then they were miserable in the league. So it's really different, the gameplay in Europe and in England. I mean, I would still be happy to have Donnarumma, but whether I can already say he's going to be a top three goalkeeper, I will not go that far with a goalkeeper. Yeah, coming back to the United squad, as I was saying, we have a pretty decent centre back lineup. Of course, there can be upgrades. I've already said that Guardiol, Ruben Diaz would both be upgrades here, but still, I feel in Lenny Oro we have a generational talent. Heaven also looks really good. Licha Martinez, if he can get back to his form and fitness, is really good. For the central centre back position, Delict and Maguire are good too. So it's okay. It's not an area of concern for United. Uh, the right-sided wing back may be a concern with Diogo Dalot and Ahmad. Left-sided wing back also is okay in terms of the number of bodies and the high potential, like the high upside players that we have there. So defense for me is okay. Like it's not a priority area for this transfer window at least. I feel Euro will start with Maguire and Heaven in term for against Arsenal.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
What? Um,
Euro is your best defender for sure, yeah. Like I think United did a great job signing him when other big teams were after him.
Hmm.
And if you see his gameplay as well, I think he gives the entire defense that confidence that, I am there. Like even one of the like Premier League summer series games, I think against Everton, the
Hmm.
Everton forward Beto was with a clean run on goal, and somehow he made a last ditch tackle to deny him even a shot. So I think Yoro for me is your one of the best defenders right now in terms of the centre back. Maguire has really proven himself out of, a very hard period and done reasonably well coming back into the team. And as a centre back, I think that is where his best game can be seen by United. And Licha, when fit, I think as a left centre back is a great option. I actually really like Mazraoui. I don't know how you guys will plan to fit him into the team, but as a player last year, I think he was really good across positions. And Diallo does extremely well on the right wing back position because he combines well, he runs up and down, and he has a very, very good appreciation of space and where to run and when not to run. So I think
The problem with
Diallo and
Diallo
Mbuemo
is
is good.
that Mbuemo and Diallo tend to make the same runs and tend to want to occupy the same spaces. So, like that's what I've seen in the highlights of the first few preseason games, and then also read about those games that they are moving in the same spaces, making similar runs, and that chemistry then needs to develop that understanding between the two. That when one is going out, the other one cuts in, and when one is going in, the other one stays out. Right. Like last year, he was better as a right wing back than as a right 10, Ahmad for sure. But this season, having Embuemo may be a hindrance for him rather than being an advantage.
I think during the season, he will get his tactics on the training ground to kind of set it up in such a manner that you get the best from both of them.
Hmm.
I think initially it may prove a little bit of a challenge if they are occupying similar spaces, but I think United have enough time to work on the training ground this season.
Yeah.
yeah. Maran, what did you say were your wing backs?
Ahmad and Dorgu will begin. Like they will be the first choice, right wing back and left wing backs. Dorgu
Hmm.
has been really good for the during the preseason for us.
And your midfield too?
midfield too. Like I think Bruno is one for sure. The other one is a big challenge. Who- Everyone, like we have three options, let's say, and with all three we are like losing something. You know, like for with Casemiro, we don't have the physicality to be everywhere and run everywhere. With Ugarte, he's going to be everywhere, crunching into tackles and stuff, but he doesn't have ball carrying. And with Menu, he has the ball carrying ability. He's press resistant, but he's again not going to cover the ground, and he's not really so strong yet, to
I feel
win a
Menu
lot
is
of
your best
challenges.
option, yeah, to partner with Bruno.
No, I'm not saying he's not the best option, but all the three options are inadequate as a complement to Bruno. Like they are, it's not a perfect midfield pairing, is what I'm trying to say.
Hmm.
Another rumor which is there and which is like substantiated a lot. United are working on a £112 million deal for Baleba. And if Baleba comes in, that can be another very interesting game changer.
Yes, yes. If Baleba comes in, then what he does is he sort of combines the qualities of, let's say,
All three of them.
an Ugarte and a Menu. Like maybe he doesn't have the experience and the game sense yet of Casemiro, but like he runs as well as Ugarte, and he like like he saves the ball and progresses the ball as well as Menu perhaps. So that would be an amazing signing, but it's so expensive. I highly doubt we'll be able to make it happen.
I actually feel you guys will do it because if I look at this United lineup, there are two big holes, right? The keeper hole and the midfield hole. Now, if you fix those two holes at the beginning of the season, you have the entire year to kind of develop that squad in a particular manner, and you can actually spend next year's budget this year and try and work on that.
But you need to have the money, na?
Just to think that 1 year back, United were penny pinching on your staff food coupons and your retired player.
That's one of the reasons why we've been able to spend so much, right? Like if
Yeah,
this kind of
30,000 is helping you a
austerity,
lot.
yeah, whatever money is helping, right? Like
Fair enough. Fair enough.
if this kind of austerity helps the team succeed, then the additional revenue that and income that we are generating,
Drop
let's
versus
say
an ocean.
if we do this like for 2 or 3 years, we can just go back to all of those things easily. And it's like so many drops, right? It's not just one drop, so it's a lot of drops that accumulate together to give you that financial flexibility.
I think it's the combination of making sure that United have to finish in the Champions League places this season. I think if they
Hmm.
don't finish
Yeah,
Champions League this season, it's gonna
yeah,
be a huge problem. So it's like give
it's
the
a
squad
desperate.
whatever they need. Yeah,
Yeah,
let us not have any excuses at the end of the season, ki yaar, uh, wherever
correct.
we have the clear gaps, let's fill it and let's give
Yeah,
Amorim the best shot
Yeah,
to kind of perform.
but you're still hamstrung by PSR, right? Like there has to be a limit. Like we've already spent about 200 odd million, and then Baleba is going
It's
to be over 100
the
million for sure.
yeah, yeah.
So it's not so easy. And also, like the whole 200 million is not going to be counted in this year's
Correct.
accounts. So
It's
that makes
only
a
like, we have
difference
one
too.
fifth of that.
One third of that maybe.
One fifth, 5 year contract, right?
Ha.
You can
So
amortize the contracts over minimum of 5 years.
yeah.
तो उसके बेसिस पे तेरे को 200 का
Hmm,
40 million का तेरे को
hmm,
हिट लेना पड़ रहा है ये साल.
hmm. So, but again, then you also need to have the cash to pay so many things. Like actual money, cash flow also is important. Not
I
just
think that is
like
where Sir Jim
yeah.
is kind of funding it.
Hmm.
It's like
So
a double-edged
It's a
sword, right?
last, it's a
no, no, you
last ditch roll of a dice, spend 300 million, come enter the Champions League, and then that Champions League fixes your finances next year onwards, basically.
See, Sir Jim can only fund it so much. Like, there is a limit to how much owners can fund a club over a 3 year period.
Correct.
Luckily,
45
Glazers
million
never
lost.
funded anything. So, Sir Jim has room to fund enough to compensate for a 3 year gap or a 2 year gap. But still, like, we need sales. Like, we need sales. We need Sancho to go. We need Garnacho to go. We need Malasia to go. Possibly Hoyland to go as well. To be able to raise the money to get both Donnarumma and Baleba.
So Hoyland is looking very likely to head to Milan for a loan fee of 5 to 6 million euros plus salary being covered, with a
Mhm.
buy option of 40 to 50 million euros for next season. Garnacho is very, very strongly linked to Chelsea. I think the only reason we are not able to sign Garnacho is because of PSR as well. So we need outgoings before we sign new players. And honestly, I hope we don't. But in the case that it is actually happening, it'll be really good for United because I think you'll get 40, 50 million straight. Sancho seems to be now on the radar of Inter Milan for around 15, 20 million euros. And Anthony is again trying to go to Real Betis. They are looking at fractional ownership, which I'm not sure will be something that
No, won't
United
be
consider.
possible.
Yeah,
It's not allowed
so
in England, no?
it's not
Fractional
allowed in
ownership.
England.
Yeah.
So you'll have to again look at a loan plus buy obligation, something of
Mm.
those sorts. So you can generate around 100 million for sure. Now, it depends on how fast those transactions can be done and how you can fund it in the meanwhile.
Mhm.
But I think compared to last season, given Amorim has had 6 months to work with the squad, considering the new signings which are there, considering the overall attitude of the players who are there want to be there with additional rest, with more time on the training field, I think this is United's best bet to finish in the top five because the way things are going, every team is improving every year. And we
Mhm.
really see the top four from last season significantly improving. And I like Pratik's comment here. Please stay away from Garnacho. I think all Chelsea fans have been saying the same thing. And Pratik had just shared one more comment earlier. Varun, do you have it? I can't see it. So Pratik had shared that his top six would be Chelsea if we had another centre back plus Javi Simmons. If not, then second or third. And Pratik is a crazy, so just sharing a couple of things. He's a crazy Chelsea fan. He's actually in the US and he actually went for three of the Club World Cup games, both the semi-finals and the finals. So he had video called me from the game as well. So a huge, huge fan. Uh, City second, Liverpool third. Seem to be struggling defensively, which was Manan and Varun's analysis as well. Arsenal fourth, which I feel is the lowest which anyone will put it. Villa fifth, which is a good shout out considering Emery, because I think all said and done, Villa have that knack of just getting points out of nowhere. And United sixth, which means Spurs would unfortunately again miss out, and Newcastle would miss out. So we'll see how it shapes up. But yeah, if Chelsea are anywhere close to the top three this season, it'll be amazing. So yeah, I'm hopeful Pratik's positivity can rub off.
Um, yeah, I mean, United, I don't know, yeah, sixth. I think they'll do better than sixth, yeah.
Yeah, I feel they are going to be better than six also.
Yeah.
So again, putting in context, like Pratik's brother is a huge United fan. So it's
Ah, now I know why. Great, great. Um, okay, let's move
cool.
to Liverpool.
Yes. This is where the people started working again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they have two very good goalkeepers. Like Mamardashvili is like possibly now the best number two in the world.
I actually rate Kelleher higher here.
But
I
he's not
really
the
like
number two
Kelleher.
anymore, no?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So I think yeah, Mamardashvili is possibly the best number two in the world. Allison, of course, is the arguably the best goalkeeper in the league. But here
So,
is where I have my doubts, which is the
so one
defense.
one one thing if you notice from this, like what is the one thing that you notice in this small window here? Like what gives Liverpool that, you know, edge over the others?
Experience number of games.
And specifically for Liverpool, Allison almost 300 games.
Yeah.
You have Joe Gomez. I can't believe he's played 241 games. It's like ridiculous to even think so. You got Van Dijk with 300 plus games. You got Konate with 100 plus games. You've got Robertson with 300 plus games. You've got, if you go downwards, you've got Salah with 400 plus games. So it's like a crazy team which is like forged together now. And you've retained the best players and you have signed really, really good like players for the future. So I think this is where a lot of people, why did Liverpool win the league last season? Because their top 11 was so good that they were consistently performing at a very high level. Now I don't know whether they can repeat it or no, but the ingredients seem to be there.
Yeah, but they were also lucky with injuries, no? Like that makes a huge difference. When you have only 11 or 12 or 13 good players, you can only do well if there's no injuries. And going two seasons without any injuries is very difficult. Like if you see here now, you have Salah, you have Gakpo, you have Ekitike, you have Words. Four players for three positions over a course of season is not enough.
I think that's
I'll
where
tell
Isaac
you
will come in.
a key X factor is players knowing how to win and they being in that position before. So it's just not about okay, fine, they have won two Premier League titles. It's about even against Man City, there were 2 years where they were so close, and both City and Liverpool in the run-in ended up winning 10 plus games, right? Being in that situation, winning the title and knowing how to win, that is the most important thing. And a lot of players in this lineup know how to do that. That is the biggest factor. So you have like,
I
and that runs through their spine, right? You have it from Alison Becker to Van Dijk to Salah, who's up front, and even like midfielders that they know how to win basically. So that becomes a very, very important thing.
yeah, completely agree.
So
And if we look at it, Van Dijk and Salah, although they have both signed 2 year renewals, there is a very good possibility that at the end of the season, at least Salah may be sold to Saudi because they would want to get some recuperation of their fee back. And at 34, if you are signing a Salah for 60 million, that's again money in the bank which you can reinvest in a better player. So I think this would possibly be Salah's last season for sure. Maybe Van Dijk can continue again for a couple of seasons because if Konate leaves, they would require some consistency at the back. But I think this may be Salah's last season for sure, although he has 2 years on paper. So I would say he would again want to go back or go out in a big way.
but yeah, again I feel that okay, fine, you guys would think that the defense is not up to the mark, but I think the defense is pretty decent. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, same here.
Van Dijk, Gomez, and Konate are like a great option for centre backs, all three of them.
Yeah, but
Right?
Gomez is injured already. He's always injured.
Yeah, but like for somehow they always find a solution, right? Like they always will find a solution to that. It's
No,
Like
actually,
McAllister can
whenever
play
they've
at
had,
times.
yeah, but
uh,
whenever they've had injuries to either Van Dijk, mainly Van Dijk, but sometimes to Konate also, without having a backup, they've struggled. Every season they've struggled has been due to one of the injuries, like one of the key center
Correct.
backs being injured.
But
So,
Manan, tell
like,
me something.
hmm,
If they have two of the best keepers in the league,
hmm,
they have maybe six excellent defenders overall. You
six,
add someone six. So you have Kirkes, Connor Bradley, Frimpong, you have Konate, Van Dijk, and maybe you can add a Gomez to the list. Five to six. You add maybe one Gehi to this squad.
hmm.
That would be good enough to kind of cover all the holes.
Yeah, I think if you add Gehi to the squad, it covers a lot of holes for sure.
but
Similarly,
I
if
Like
you
would
add
say,
Isak,
like,
center back is the biggest hole for me. Like
no, but
if
I
you
would say
add
someone like
Gehi,
Andy Robertson, just in case if suppose Van Dijk is injured for a couple of games, Andy Robertson can also fill in as a centre back. Yeah, they have that kind of flexibility. It's not that difficult
no,
for
he
them.
can't. Yeah. What are you saying? He's never played center back ever in his life.
But see, the thing is, with that experience of playing 340 games, you end up having that flexibility where your positional awareness is very good. Yeah,
Positional awareness is one thing, but you also need to like understand that role,
attributes.
right? The attributes are very different. He's
it's
not
not
even good
that.
enough to be like the second choice left back at Liverpool right
No, no, he is the second choice left back at
Yes,
Liverpool.
now. Simikas is the
Simikas is
second
gone.
choice, no?
No, no, Simikas is going.
Acha. But
He will be the
like
second choice.
if Joe Gomez was had like an exemplary fitness record, even then I I would be okay with it. But right now I feel there's no depth in defense at all.
So, Manan, I'm saying you look at this squad, and there's a very
Hmm.
good possibility that they will sign one center back, which is possibly a Gehi, and they
Hmm.
will sign a forward, which is possibly an Isak.
Hmm.
Now, with these two signings, the issue of squad depth goes out of the window. When you have Isak, Salah, and Wirtz as your
Hmm.
front three, I
Hmm.
think that is again one of the best front threes that you can have in the league, right?
Hmm.
Because you've got
Yeah.
60 goals literally from the front three,
Hmm.
wherein it's Premier League proven players, like not Wirtz, but if you look at Isak for the last two seasons, he scored 20 plus goals.
Hmm.
Salah has scored 20 plus goals. And the minimum you can see Wirtz scoring in this lineup would be 10 goals.
Hmm. So we are talking about what it is right now. And like right now
I'm
there
just
is
saying,
no
based
depth.
on the
Yeah.
conjecture which is happening right now,
Yeah,
Liverpool are
yeah.
likely
Then
to
it
sign
solves,
one defender and one
yeah,
forward.
it solves their problems.
And even the new youngsters, especially if you look at, they've not mentioned Mguema.
That 16-year-old.
He's a
Yeah.
16-year-old. He's really good. And
Yeah.
then you have this guy Trey Nyoni, which is also very good.
Yeah.
So I think they have a lot of youngsters coming through, which can actually complement their senior side very well. So I think centre back, you're right, but I think they will definitely sign someone unless they have someone coming in from the academy who's really good. And forward, everyone knows that they've been linked to Isak. In case they don't sign Isak, there's a good possibility of a Johan Visa going as a backup, which again, someone who scored 16 Premier League goals is a good backup to an Ekitike.
I think
I
even if
think
they
Visa
don't
is
sign
going to
Isak, they have a
Newcastle.
very good forward lineup. Yeah,
No, see the starting three is good, Varun, but there has to be backups. Injury में क्या करेगा?
but they have decent forward and forward backup. Yeah, you have Akatike also that they have signed.
तो Ekitike तो अभी starting में आ गया ना. If Isak is
Huh.
not there, then
No,
Ekitike,
but
Salah,
words
and
initially,
Gakpo are
initially the
playing.
whole thought process that words can play like a false nine as well, right? So there are a lot of a lot of options that they have
Combinations.
available. Yeah, combinations and they have available over here to kind of play with here. Like it's a lot of these players are very flexible and can fit into multiple positions. It's not as if you need they are not that very flexible. Like they can figure
See,
out without Isaac. I feel.
and
Chiesa, I
Arne
feel, was a
Slot's,
good signing as well as a backup.
I think he's leaving for sure.
He's
Yeah.
leaving.
Yeah. Italy जा रहा है वापस.
Okay.
But in general, this side without five key signings this year and with a underperforming Nunez last year, they managed to win the Premier League. Now you have retained the core of the side and you have
Yeah.
added some of the best players in their
Yeah.
positions. And if you add an Isak on this along with a decent centre half, I think
Yeah.
they are definitely going to compete for the top two.
Hmm.
Like I would be surprised if they fall short and come out of the top four. Very, very surprised.
Let's do Chelsea.
Yes, quick 5, 7 minutes on Chelsea and then we
Yeah,
leave
but
Spurs
Chelsea will
there.
be like 3 pages.
Yeah, but unfortunately I know where to look. Unfortunately, the Chelsea squad has been made better than the United squad on paper. यहाँ पे you go in the squad information. Yeah. So we've got two okay keepers,
Dude,
honestly.
you guys
I
can you
would
guys
love
need Donnarumma as well.
we need. I think I've had this discussion with Pratik also. I've had this discussion with Varshil also, a lot of other Chelsea fans. Yeah, if we sign Donnarumma, it is
Yeah.
much needed. The problem is the wage structure. The problem is Chelsea are on a much lower wage structure than United as well. Our highest paid player is from the old regime, which is James. So that is where we are struggling. Like Sanchez would be at about 80K right now. So that's the reason why it becomes difficult. But if we were to get a Donnarumma, I think it really, really helps us across tournaments.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
keeper wise, I think not the best, but somehow even with this keeping setup, Maresca has done a great job in kind of integrating them into the way the game is played for Chelsea.
Hmm.
Uh, extremely happy with Cucurella and completely, uh, from the criticism that us fans had given him in his first season at Chelsea, I think he has come a long way. Possibly one of our best players by far. And we've signed a young Jorel Hato, who is supposedly a really, really good left back. I think he can compete with Skelly over the next 3 seasons. Like, Abhi, he's too raw in terms of his gameplay. But once he develops into the Premier League, I think he will compete with Skelly as the best left back in the league after a while. We've got a dearth of centre backs, but our main centre back, Colville, has now ruled out of the season for a ACL injury, which is a very big disappointment. So in terms of centre backs, we're actually not having the greatest quality, but we've got solid performers. We've got Tosin, we've got Chaloba, who gives his heart out every game. We've got Fofana again, who's injured most of the time. And we've got a young Josh Achempong, who I rate very highly. Doesn't have much experience, but if he comes into the setup, I think he can do a great job. At right back, again, if Reece James is fit, for me, he is the best right back in the league. But he's rarely fit throughout, so we will sub him and Gusto one by one. So I would say in terms of keeper, it's a 6 to 7 out of 10 max. In terms of fullbacks, we are at a 8 to 9 out of 10. In terms of centre backs, maybe a 6 to 7 out of 10. I wouldn't mind going and buying Gehi again because actually Gehi, we have a right to match because Chelsea had sold him to Crystal Palace. So in case someone comes in and offers 40 million, if we get 40 million for Gehi, it'll be a great option for us. I think midfield is where Chelsea are the most strong in the league right now. Caicedo, absolutely brilliant. I think one of my best Chelsea players right now. Uh, we have signed a great backup in Esugo. Similarly, Enzo has really stepped up last season, and Santos is a good deputy. And Lavia, when fit, can really, really do a great job as a defensive pivot on his own. So I think in terms of the central midfield options, Chelsea are really, really well covered. In terms of the wing options, we have Pedro Neto, who has really outperformed last season. I think since 2025 Jan, he has been on a different level altogether. We have Estevao Willian coming in, who I am very hopeful of. I think very rarely has Chelsea signed a young 18-year-old prodigy who has that caliber of actually winning a Ballon d'Or in his future. And if he can stay fit, this guy can break all the records. He's that good. And he is someone who I really hope stays injury free because if he does, I think he can be a Hazard or a Robin type player for us. Uh, Not convinced of our options on the left wing, honestly. We've got Jamie Gittins, who has come in for big money, but he'll take some time to settle into the Premier League. He is only turned 21 2 days back. And we have Tyreek George, who will possibly go on loan or be sold with a buyback. So ideally, my wish list would have been a Rodrigo. But in case we are not able to sign a Rodrigo, I would still prefer signing someone like a Javi Simmons who plays as an auxiliary half left, half number 10 position rather than signing a Garnacho. But I think the Garnacho deal is close. So if he actually signs for Chelsea, then of course, as a Chelsea fan, I would want to support him throughout. But
I think they are
better
both
to
like
invest.
they're both independent of each other, Xavi
Yes, they
Simons
are
and
both
Garnacho.
independent, but the problem which I am facing as a fan is that there are other gaps which we can fill in for the same amount of money. For instance, if we are spending 40 million on a Garnacho, I would rather spend 30 million euros on Donnarumma and offer 10 million का bonus to him कि यार तू कम salary में आ जा, but I'll give you a hefty sign-on bonus.
Hmm.
So I would rather spend that money elsewhere in terms of fixing a problem position rather than spending on a left position where he will not elevate the squad. There's no doubt that Garnacho is a good talent, but will he start all the games for Chelsea? No. Will he be able
Why
to
not?
score? He will not. I have seen Garnacho
He'll,
play a little bit, and I have seen our team play. I don't see him as a third choice player also for us. We have Palmer, we've got Willian, we've got Neto, and we've got Gittins who will come in with his exposure to Maresca's tactics already. So I am pretty sure Garnacho would be like a sub. So he would come in to make an impact. So I really don't see Garnacho moving the needle for Chelsea. If we had to sign a United player, like a Euro would be the one person who would actually move the needle for Chelsea in this squad. Like we have a lack of very, very good centre back. So he would be someone who would completely come in and elevate the squad. But if I look at Garnacho, I really don't see him moving the needle. Something to what Haru described to Madueke, right? It's a good backup. But for a backup to pay that kind of money, he would rather sign a Rodrigo to fix the problem. So the problem remains not fixed. That is my problem with the Garnacho signing.
I think
Up front,
Garnacho is a potential Ballon d'Or winner, and Chelsea would be very lucky to have him. Yeah,
क्या यार
yeah,
मनन, come on
भाई तू
यार.
पागल है क्या? His record is better than Ronaldo at the same age. Cristiano Ronaldo. क्या बोल रहा है
I
तू?
doubt it. Yeah, no ways. I would
Yeah,
love for that to be true if he comes to Chelsea, but I
yeah.
really don't
He's
think he's
better
a
than
Ballon d'Or
every other
player.
option on the left that Chelsea has.
I don't know what is worse. You be saying Havertz is the best playmaker, or you are saying Garnacho is the
No,
potential
I'm not saying
Ballon d'Or
Havertz is the
winner.
best playmaker. I'm saying कि Havertz as a
No,
independent player is good,
yeah, and I'm
but
saying that he has the potential to do that. Like there's so many players who have potential to do that, and Garnacho does have the potential. Now he just needs the right environment to nurture him, and he needs a lot of luck going his way also. But his like he has the talent to do that for sure.
from what I've seen of him, yeah, I can't see it right now. Of course, the environment plays a big difference. You saw Anthony, right? As
Yeah,
Anthony at United and Anthony at Betis were two different
I
players.
think that was more about the league than the club per se. But like Garnacho, I think he'll thrive at Chelsea. He really will.
See, I think the deal is close. So, like I said, any player who dons a Chelsea jersey, I will support him till the time he's at the club. So, for sure, like, if he comes in, I will support him. But I feel if possible, I would rather spend that money on a Donnarumma and fix a hole which we obviously have right now. Or I would rather spend big and get a Rodrigo to ensure that, we actually get a signing which is ready right now. A Garnacho, if you're saying is a future Ballon d'Or winner, it may take him 6 years to reach there. Whereas
Yeah,
a Rodrigo is already at that level wherein he can, create a massive impact in the league. So a
but
player
will
like
he fit in
Rodrigo,
your wage
maybe
structure?
that is a problem. Same
Yeah,
problem which is there, right? Same problem which
yeah.
is there. So if
No
I'm looking,
player at that level will fit in your wage structure right now.
so if I look at a left wing option, someone who will fit into our wage structure, we would have to go to Italy. And
Like,
Italy say we'll have to get maybe Yildiz, Kenan Yildiz, who we
yeah, but
offered
he's
actually
at a
65
similar
million
level
for.
like Garnacho.
No, no, no,
He's
no, no,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
no.
yeah,
He's better than
100%.
Garnacho.
No,
He's
no, no.
much better than Garnacho.
He's at a performing in Italy is different to performing in EPL.
Fair enough.
So
That I agree.
you have to normalize for that also.
Hmm.
But Garnacho hasn't performed in EPL.
He has,
Arey
as I said, his record at the same age as when you compare it to Cristiano Ronaldo is similar.
But they were very different
yeah,
circumstances.
you
Yeah,
can't compare
Ronaldo
it
came
that
from
Yeah,
way.
Sporting.
exactly. So,
No, no, no.
like
Ronaldo came from
Ronaldo had a
Sporting, and for
better
the first.
environment and a better circumstance to perform. Like he
But you
had
can't compare it
10
that way.
other world class players to perform, whereas Garnacho many a times has had to carry the whole attack by himself.
See, as a fan, like I'm saying, if he comes to Chelsea and if he is able
अरे
to
वो तो अपन बात ही
even.
नहीं कर रहे ना बाबा.
No, so I'm just giving you the context. Right? I don't see him winning the Ballon d'Or at United ever.
I
So that is
agree.
out of the
I agree.
question. Yeah.
I agree 100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
I
the way
also
he has
don't
been
see him winning
performing
the.
and the way his attitude has been to United last season, I would rather stay away.
What I'm saying is कि तेरे को तेरे वेज स्ट्रक्चर में रॉड्रिगो लेवल का प्लेयर मिलेगा क्या?
नहीं, so that's what I'm
कौन है?
saying. आज जैसे giving the example, Javi Simmons मिल जाएगा. आज Javi Simmons can be an auxiliary. I don't need another Garnacho then.
But Xavi Simmons doesn't play the position that you want.
Javi Simmons can be an auxiliary winger wherein he starts out on the left and cuts inside, and Cucurella or Hato can be an overlapping winger as a wing back. So when Chelsea plays, we actually play with a inverted left back. So
Yeah,
Cucurella comes into midfield. Now there are many
yeah.
times in many games wherein we use the same system, but the strategy changes. Wherein the right back comes into midfield and the left back becomes an overlapper.
Hmm.
And this has been done last season, wherein you don't need both the wingers to hold position. You need one winger to hold position on one side, and you need the other position to come in. So Xavi Simmons can actually play that role very well. He has done that for Leipzig. He has also done that for PSV. So you don't need to sign a Garnacho. That's the point. A Garnacho coming in, what I feel is it's a market opportunity wherein the sporting directors feel that we are going to get a player for 25, 30 million and we are going to flip him for 50 million next season.
But you think he's going to improve in value by whatever you're thinking of him being a sub and
I
everything?
am to telling you कि I don't want him. So that's why I'm saying
हाँ,
I would ideally
अरे
not
but
want him. But now that the club is after him, it's
हाँ,
like
but
if he comes to the club, then
you
of course
can't
I'll
talk
support
about
him.
it both ways ना कि I don't
See,
want him, but वो आएगा तो
if
फिर उसका वैल्यू बढ़ जाएगा.
I
दोनों
am
तो
saying
नहीं हो
कि
सकता ना.
no, I am saying right now. So let's take an example. Tosin last year came on a free. Right
Hmm.
now, we have rejected a 25 million bid from a mid Premier League club for him.
Hmm.
He has
But
not been a
that's not
regular
a
starter.
apple to apple comparison.
No,
अगर
he
वो
has not been a
उसका
regular starter
कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं
last
खत्म
season.
हुआ था तो वो 20-25 मिलियन के लिए ही आता. It's not an
Not
apple to apple
really.
comparison.
He was a 5-10 million player. Yeah, Tosin कहाँ पे जा रहा था? Tosin was
नहीं,
going nowhere.
Tosin had a very good season at Fulham. Like if his
हाँ,
contract
but
was not up, then
he
he would
was
have
not going
gone for
anywhere.
20-25 million.
Okay, I'll give you an example. ऊपर जा.
हाँ.
यही स्क्वाड में बता देता हूँ ना ताको. So let's say if we look at from top, Tosin I told you. Cucurella, I think we signed him at a very high fee, but now he's
Yeah.
delivering it. Then Colville was a youth for us, so वो
Hmm.
तो हमको free में मिला. But right
Hmm.
now, if the ACL would not have happened, conservatively he would have been a 50-60 million player.
Yeah.
If we come down, Chaloba ka we have rejected bids of 35-40 million for him. So
See, again,
again,
academy players ko chhod. We can't take academy players in the same conversation.
but
Because
other players we've signed on a higher fee, right? We've not signed on a lower fee.
so that's what I'm saying, right? Like if you are
I can give
saying
you the
that
example of
there's
Madueke.
a
So
player,
Madueke came
हाँ,
in. No, the Madueke का example ले ले. Madueke we
हाँ,
signed for 29 million. We sold him for
हाँ,
बहुत
52
lame
million.
Madueke का example यार.
हाँ,
So that's an example. He was in the short starter last season. He played
हाँ,
roughly 60% of the games. And
Yeah.
still, after 2 years, we've sold him for almost 80% profit.
So if a player
So
is
that's the
playing
same example.
60% of the games, then it's not a backup player anymore.
It is a backup player. You see the stats. 60% of the games is a backup. He is not the first choice. Neto was the first choice.
But he's either playing left or right? 60% of games खेलने वाला backup कैसे हो सकता है?
Because he's
अगर वो
playing as a sub.
60% of
He
the
is not
games खेल
playing.
रहा है,
He's not a starter, buddy.
but he was starting
तेरे
for
को
the first like half of the season, ना?
फर्स्ट हाफ सीजन स्टार्टेड
Madueke.
उसके बाद नहीं खेला ना उसने इसलिए उसको जाने दिया फर्स्ट हाफ सीजन तो बहुत सारा चेंजेस हो गया ना उसके बाद तो
Hmm.
दैट्स हाउ वी स्टार्टेड विनिंग देन सो दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग इट्स if it's about the right profile and the right age bracket and the right, let's say, Madueke is one example. You take a look at Jackson as well. Now Jackson 32 million हम लोगों ने sign किया था. There's a good
Hmm.
possibility if we sell him, we'll get 65 million for him.
Yeah, because he was a
So
first choice forward for Chelsea last season.
okay, Jao Felix. Jao Felix has gone for 45 million euros. He
Yeah,
was
it's
not even
Saudi,
playing
bro.
the.
It's
But that's
Saudi.
what भाई तो बेचेंगे ना हम लोग. That's what I'm
हाँ,
saying.
तो
तू मेरे को बोल रहा है.
Saudi. See, all of these things are specific conditions. Like if
No,
you're
I'm
saying
saying
that
कि
a
आज
Garnacho comes
मैं
in and he's gonna
हाँ,
be a
it's a market
backup, so he's
opportunity.
gonna, yes,
Yeah,
I agree. But if he's gonna be a backup, he's gonna play 20, 30, 40% of the games.
I'm
तो
saying
वो,
exactly the same thing कि
हाँ, तो उसका
first of
वैल्यू
all,
कैसे
a
बढ़ेगा?
Garnacho. I'm saying कि हम लोग बेच देंगे based on our experience of the past. If you see our moves, we've been able to get good value for backup players who are not playing as well. देख लेना तो नीचे जाते को दिखाता हूँ मैं. Go in
Manan,
transfers.
they are good at selling players. Yeah, they
Go
get
in
good value
transfers.
even
हाँ.
if the
तो
players
नीचे
are
जा.
not that,
नहीं नहीं
not
यहाँ पे
the.
ट्रांसफर्स है ना लेफ्ट में. जस्ट क्लिक ऑन दैट ट्रांसफर्स लिंक. यस इसमें आउट में जा नीचे जा ना यहाँ पे देख. बेशीर हम्फ्रीज अकेडमी प्रोस्पेक्ट 14 million. Amugo 12. Petrovic, one season at Salzburg, 25 million. Madueke 48. João Felix 26, fixed fee with 15 million add-ons. Dewsbury Hall didn't play 4 games in the league, 25 million. Ugo Chukwu on loan, 23 million. Broha did not play a single game last season. Like he went for 20 million. So it's in front of you. अब it's a market opportunity कि यार हमें flip करना है player को, but I'm saying कि it's not needed. Instead of flipping a player for his value, the advantage कहाँ हुआ है flipping में because Garnacho का अभी United में wage is 50,000. If he comes to Chelsea, he'll come at 60, 70, 80, 90,000 maximum. It'll be less than 100,000. Anyone after 1 year also, if he is behaving well, and I'm specifically saying in terms of behavior, if you look at Jao Felix, behaved well. If you look at Broha, behaved well. They were not creating nuisances for the team. So if they are behaving well in the team setup, they will get an opportunity to go play elsewhere. That is where the value gets flipped. But the problem is आज 40 million spend करके मेरा 40 million capital block हो रहा है, which I can utilize elsewhere. Now, if he comes in and if he becomes a better player than Gittins under Maresca, all fair play to you and to Maresca for making it happen. But the probability of that happening right now seems difficult
What
considering
I'm
this
saying
attitude.
is already a better player than Gittins.
हो सकता है, but I'm saying उसका
हाँ.
attitude is not better than Gittins, which is a big concern for me. So why would I want to sign a 40 million probable option wherein I can go into the market and sign
But
a better player?
Garnacho का attitude का issue only after Amorim it started. So
Okay.
it's maybe about like a personal issue between the two, and it's not really about his
I hope
attitude.
so.
I
See,
will
I
I
really
will
hope
still
so.
say that
हाँ.
he should have had a better attitude because he's a player of the club and he has to behave a certain way. But I don't think it's an attitude issue overall for him. And like I think he's an upgrade for everyone that Chelsea has right now. Like hands down an upgrade on everyone on the left wing.
Based on, maybe specifically left wing, but I would still say
Hmm.
Neto would be a first choice left winger at this moment in time, based on his performance in the Club World Cup, because he played on the left wing in the final
Hmm.
against PSG. He was practically marking Hakimi and then getting forward on the box as well. So I don't see
Yeah, अगर
him
उसका attitude अच्छा
doing
होता
that.
तो then I would have been like sign him instead of Maduaki. I mean, quality wise as a player, he is much better. But you don't want the bad apple to ruin the entire lot, right? That's the biggest problem.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like it's too early to characterize him as a bad apple. Like He's a bad apple in this particular scenario, which also he shouldn't be, but he's young and with the right guidance, like I don't see him being a bad apple per se.
So
Yeah,
another
I mean,
example here,
I
yeah.
think as a player and as the age profile that he's at, I would have preferred him to Eze also, as a player, just as a player, as a left winger that we need, right? But
Age profile, yes. Player, no. Age profile for sure, but player may,
I
if you
think,
see, Eze will
yeah,
get you
because
more goals and assists.
I don't rate Eze that much as people do. So that's the I. It's not about how high I rate Garnacho. It's not how high as I rate Eze as majority of the people do. I feel
So I
he's
think
more
Eze
capable.
is a better sort of number 10, and Garnacho is a better left winger in my book.
I will just take this much that if Garnacho comes to Chelsea and wins the Ballon d'Or for Chelsea in any season, I will take Manan out anywhere he wants for sure. While he's still at Chelsea, if he goes somewhere else and wins, then no.
सही है. Cool.
Okay,
Cool.
Our first wager of the season.
this will go on
Yes.
for 10 seasons, dude.
Yeah.
I don't see him
चलेगा
doing anything. Yeah,
चलेगा long time wager. चलो. Okay, let's
and
wrap it
yeah,
up.
just yes.
Okay, thanks for watching, everyone, and hit the like button, subscribe, share, and we will see you next time.